This meeting is being recorded.
Yay.
Hi, we're being recorded. This is Kimberly Sanders and Miss Julie Barr. Such a delight to have you. Julie and I are with this beautiful, amazing opportunity of a company called Purium, and we love to get together. I love to interview people that have been having amazing stories and ways of being in their own life and even sharing with others. But I just wanted to bring Julie on today. She's actually a holistic nutritionist and a regenerative health coach, health practitioner. And then come to find out too that she is a film actress and filmmaker, as well as a yoga teacher. So I just love that you're so multifaceted, and it's always in the ways of health and wellness and just really taking back our sovereignty on so many levels. So I've seen you up on stage for the company, and your ability to speak is so beautiful, and your story is really, really special. So I wanted to share with the friends and have you come on and speak your truth about what has happened since you've added Purium into your life. Where were you prior, and what has happened for you since?
Yeah, so it's prior to, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. I was diagnosed in 2014. Like a lot of people who have chronic illness, it was actually a trauma event that precipitated that situation in my body. My husband passed away of a heart attack very suddenly in September of 2012. Sorry, sometimes it still chokes me up. And it was just such a devastation to my entire being on so many levels. So I was diagnosed in 2014 and I was put on medication. And like a lot of people, I think when you're dealing with a diagnosis, you think, okay, I've got a diagnosis now. There must be something, right, that I can do. Now, back then, even though I was in the yoga world and meditation and all that kind of stuff, I didn't have the knowledge that I currently have. And so I was placed on medication, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll start to feel better. And that's not what happened. I just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And by the time Purium was introduced to me, I was like a shadow of my former self, even though by this point I was certified as a health coach and holistic nutritionist. I felt like a fraud. Like, I didn't feel good in my body. I put on a lot of weight. I carried a lot of inflammation. I was depressed, and I was really, really struggling. And so when this was shared with me, it made so much sense on so many levels because I had the education at that point in terms of the nutrition side of it. It made a lot of sense. And then about 6 months previous to me doing a transformation, I'd gone down the rabbit hole of research of gut health and glyphosate and autoimmune conditions. And I had been diagnosed with leaky gut in 2016, but nobody told me how to fix it. So I just went down this rabbit hole of research and was like, no naturopath ever talked to me about leaky gut or glyphosate or the quality of my food. No doctor ever talked to me about it. And here I was taking all these supplements, taking my medication every single morning, and I just was not feeling good. And so, um, bless Michael's heart, my partner, he was the one who came across Raw and was like, hey, we need to talk to this guy. And initially I was resistant because, like a lot of people, I had a resistance to network marketing. I really did. But I looked at the product line and it was so rock solid that I said, okay, let's have this meeting. And it's funny because Michael wanted, back then, this was 4.5 years ago, he wanted us to try the 10-day transformation. But I'm like, as somebody who's a practitioner, I like to really test something. So back then, I'm sure you remember, there was a 40-day. So I said, no, screw the 10-day. Let's do the 40-day. Like, if we're going to test it, let's test it. And so I did the 40 days. And by the end of it, I started to feel like myself again for the first time in this makes me so emotional. And my prayer for people is that they actually understand how important nourishment and detoxification is and doing it properly, how much it really matters. And so for myself, after that first transformation, that was the first time I started to feel like myself again. A lot of the pain in my body was gone. And I stayed on a transformation protocol for 6 months solid. By the end of the 6 months, I was off the medication. I was feeling good in my body. And of course, I've done other tweaks and adjustments since. But as I think about it realistically, what was the turning point in my health? Out of all the things I've tried in the past 4 years, 4.5 years, Purium is still top. Like if I hadn't found this product line, I don't know what I would be doing. I don't know where I would be because I was really struggling. And to this day, I take the superfoods every single day. I'm doing like, probably at least 2 shakes a day. Sometimes I'll squeeze in a third one. And just now that I know everything that I know about the body and how it works and biohacking, to me, this is biohacking nutrition, right? And let's face it, the food system is so broken in so many ways that to me, this is just smart. Like you're spending the money. Why not spend the money on something that is rock solid? And you and I both know because we've had those tours of headquarters of the warehouse, like the care that goes into this is next level. McDonald's doesn't care this much. They don't care at all. They're poisoning their clients. They're poisoning their customers. No fast food restaurant cares. Grocery stores can't tell you where anything comes from. And so, yeah, we do have to take back our health and our food sovereignty because we're dealing with many multinational corporations and government organizations that do not care about us. And it's a sad but true reality. And this is why people's health is in the state that it's in. Let's ask the question, America spends the most on healthcare and is the sickest nation on planet Earth. Like what? That's messed up. That's broken. It's a broken system. It's sick care. I do call it sick care. I don't call it the healthcare system, you know? So, yeah, that's my story. I got a little emotional. It gets me emotional.
And thank goodness, anyone that's watching, thanks for being with us in this space. It's such a sacred space. And when we can really take back our health, there's nothing like it. And when you can live in a body that's pain-free, I'm in a state of releasing pain out of my body. I have a lot of energy and many other things, but I have quite a bit of physical pain. And so I'm in this state of doing everything I can to release it. And, when you have the nutrition that Julie was talking about, it's like, there's just nothing better. And I keep reposting the posts of the people on my team that are just coming in. And it's like, this is my why, to be able to have someone like yourself come on and just really come to a point of tears because that freedom on the other side is just, it's so life-giving on every single level. So I just thank you for having these emotions because really, I think that's what touches people. We're here to touch people's souls. We're here to really provide space for people's hearts to be held and guided. And that is what Julie and I both do with what we have in our superhero toolkit of regenerative health and all of it. And you can see how beautiful Julie's skin is. I was just get to admire you as you speak and your beautiful smile. And it's such an honor to get to have you come on and share your story. And so I wanted to have this available to speak to the friends that Julie wants to share with this, and then also friends that have been working with Hashimoto's and different ailments. And amazing. If you had the tools prior to working all that out, you would have been fine, you know?
Yes. I wish somebody had shared this with me in 2013, which was kind of like the initial when I started to realize like there's something wrong with my body. Like this is not a normal, because I was in grief, right? This is not a normal part of the grieving process. Had somebody shared this with me, like it would have been a total game changer. And I cannot tell you the amount of time, money, energy, tears I spent trying other things that did not work. And it was really, really frustrating. And this to me is so simple because here's the thing. Nutrition is so foundational. There's three things that I think if you could dial those things in, it would completely change your health outcome. One of them is the quality of water, because we're mostly water. And the second thing is the quality of food. And then the third thing is frequency. Like I do a lot of education on the map of consciousness with my community and the people that I talk to. And I believe that, so many of us come from a place of trauma. We've had trauma in our life. And I've had a lot of trauma, a ton of trauma. And so it is up to us to do the necessary healing work that is required and release that. But becoming aware of like, what is the frequency that I'm sitting at? And then doing practices like breath work, meditation, movement, grounding. There's so many ways. Like I use so many tools to make sure that I'm raising my vibration, my frequency. And food is a big part of it, because if you're eating food that is dead, that has zero life force energy, then how can you expect to feel good in your body? So there's a visual that I show all of my clients and my brand partners. The food that is sold in a typical grocery store has no vibration, no frequency, no energy. And what we are dealing with are foods that are basically the energy of the sun. And you add water and boom, it activates the nutrients and the enzymes. You're literally putting the energy of the sun into your body. Like, I cannot tell you the number of times I've worked with people where within a few days, they start to feel, it's like the light goes on. The light goes on within them. And we're working on the gut, and we're doing a parasite cleanse. We're doing all of the things, and their body starts to come back online. And people just like release weight without having to hit the gym. Like I have a client right now. She's worked with me for just over 3 months. I have her on the superfoods. She's released well over, like she's probably released 35 pounds. That's all inflammation and waste.
Toxins. Yeah.
Yeah. All like the biggest thing we've done with her is we've changed her diet. Just started putting raw living foods into her body, and her body is transforming. I told her when I started working with her in September, I said, by Christmas, you're going to be a whole other human, And I have another client. I shared her testimonial on my Facebook and Instagram a couple days ago. And she again did the 90 days back to back. She's one of those dream clients where they just listen to what you tell them to do, and they just do it because they trust that you've actually done the work, which I have. I've done the work. I've done the research. I'm here to shortcut your path to health and vitality. Get you out of the prison of Googling everything under the sun and getting super confused. My job is to cut through the noise and give you what works. Anyway, she wrote in her testimonial that she just was so frustrated that she thought she was just going to be overweight and unhealthy for the rest of her life, and just frustrated. And so by the time we were done working together, She had released 25 pounds. Her doctor had reduced her medications she was on thyroid meds. So her medications are coming down. But she's like, more importantly than the weight, she's like, I'm feeling good in my body. And I'm not avoiding looking at myself in the mirror. I feel like I can see my inner beauty again. Like, what a gift. What a gift. It's like that testimonial just brought me to tears because I remember I was in that body before too, where I was like fat. I was like inflamed. So I had all this excess packaging on me. And I felt really, really unhappy. And I hated looking at myself because I'd gone so far away from like where I was, especially when I was more active in the film world. And so, yeah, I mean, this is powerful. This is powerful to have this capacity and capability to really literally transform people's lives.
Yes, thank you so much for saying that. I was just thinking that yesterday, and I have a link that I share with the people that are about to come in as what we call in Purium brand partners, the people that have had an activation or that are ready to start sharing this nutrition with the people that they care about and that they want to allow a transformation through their communities' lives as well. But the beginning, it says, welcome to the greatest self-love story that you've ever lived. And so that's what we're doing, is we're like providing the space for us to truly love the bodies, love the form of who we get to live inside of. Because self-loathing of the actual casing of who we are is rampant in the world. It's an epidemic. It's quite tricky, I mean, with the way that like aging it's not accepted and all of the things. But when the body's holding waste and toxins and inflammation, there's hardly anyone that can really truly be okay in that type of space, because we know that there's answers on the other side. And this isn't about body shaming or saying that we can't be in any type of size and still love our bodies. It's not about that. But when you start pulling out the toxins and giving the body the proper nutrients and detoxing the parasites, the body will come into a smaller form. And most people know that that's how they would be able to really love themselves and accept themselves. Yes, do it way beforehand, but you're pretty miraculous if you can totally be 100% in love with the body and be a good 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds on the other side of what true vibrant health is.
Yeah. I mean, the body doesn't lie. So if you get up in the morning and you don't feel good and it's hard for you to stand, or it's hard for you to walk, or you can't do certain things, or you're in constant pain, that's your body communicating to you. And I'm with you. I don't believe everyone's supposed to be a size 2. But I do believe that everyone has a ideal health that is possible for them to achieve. And we do need to look at diet and lifestyle, since 95% of illness is diet and lifestyle related. Then we do have to address the root causes of what is contributing to the current disease epidemic on this planet. Like, we're lying to ourselves if we think it's anything else, right? Like, you gotta call a spade, as the saying goes.
Yes, and just to kind of wrap up everything we've been talking about, all of those different autoimmune disorders, the fibromyalgia, the Hashimoto's, all of it, I mean, most of that is nutrition and gut health. And so we're grateful to share with you all that we have a system that we gently ease you into, and you accept it in the way that works for you the best. But I call it the magic carpet ride. You just roll out this magic carpet in order to really add this beautiful, regeneratively grown superfoods into your life, and being able to remove the glyphosate with a third-party tested product on the market. There's no other product on the market that has been third-party tested through the Detox Project, which is a company that is testing how the product actually removes the glyphosate. And that is what we get to offer people. So within 6 weeks, the person taking only one capsule as well as not even eating organic food at the time, they still had 74.5% of glyphosate was removed, 75% of that C-reactive protein, which is what is causing all that autoimmune issues and the Hashimoto's and all the things. And then 33% of leaky gut was on the mend. And so that's what we have to offer people. And so many people are working with gut issues and, and body self-loathing and the inability to truly love ourselves. And Purium loves us. This food and this nutrition love us until we can then turn in the mirror and love the reflection that we get to live with. So it's so good. And it just brings Julie and I and everyone else on our teams to tears, because we know what it's like to be able to do this. And really just speaking to people that are rebels out there in the world, we don't want to be giving our money to people that are literally trying to kill us in the process. So that in itself, to me, is enough of a reason to be like, okay, yes, let's not give our money to corporations and big farming practices that are literally destroying the microbiota of the earth, the soil. Like we are so grateful to be connected to the producer of a documentary called Kiss the Ground. And then if you haven't seen the documentary called Common Ground, that's the second one that she did. And both of those documentaries just are so important to learn about, and then to know what we have to offer. It goes hand in hand. So anyway, would you like to close with the last bit today?
Yeah, I mean, 1,000%, right? Like, I know that with everything that is going on in the world, on an individual level, we can feel so powerless, but that's not true. We vote with our dollars, right? I tell people all the time, there are certain companies I will never support. Nestle will never get my money, nor will McDonald's. Who would you rather support? A company like Purium that puts so much care into bringing the best of the best to your doorstep, or a big grocery store that is giving you mostly GMO grown food. We have to start adulting ourselves and go, this is not good. I need to start shifting my habits, my spending habits, and put my money where it's doing good in the world. And here's the other very cool thing about Purium. Your grocery store will never pay you to shop there. But if you decided that you wanted to do this as a brand partner, let's say, and Amy says this all the time on the calls, even if it's just to make enough to cover your monthly Purium bill, you can do that. You can, as a brand partner, get your own affiliate gift card code, share it amongst your friends and family, and get your order covered. This whole, what a gift. In the last 4.5 years, I think the only order I ever paid for was my first order when I started. I don't pay for Purium because I make enough as a brand partner. I can get whatever I want, and I always do. Like, if you come to my house and you open up my cupboards, it's full of Purium. There's so much Purium in there, and none of it do I have to pay for out of pocket. That's money I save in grocery bills. That's time I save as well, because it's such convenient nutrition that I just put it in a blender cup, add water, blend, and enjoy, right? Plus, yes, it's a tax write-off as well. Because I'm my own business, I'm able to write off a portion of my property taxes, of my phone bill, of my internet, of my office space. You're in my home office right now. My accountant writes this off. And so there's so many benefits, even if you are somebody who has to, because most brand partners start out part-time with this, you can still, if you're paying taxes, you can get some of those taxes back because you're running a business from your home, and it's a legitimate business where we're helping people to upgrade their nutrition. I have not come across one human being who cannot stand to get a nutrition upgrade. Even people that I know that were like, oh no, but I'm organic, 100% plant-based, da, 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 da. I put them on a transformation, and within a few days, they're like, oh, what is that? I need to be a brand partner. Like, I want to share this with my people. Like, cool. Yeah. I mean, it's so beautiful on so many levels. Like, just an amazing, amazing line with just the best. I mean, that really is Dave and Amy's mission, is to help people get healthier, reclaim their health sovereignty. And then if you want your financial sovereignty, you can do that as well. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I get to design my days. We were talking right before this call. I'm going to be in Mexico for the winter because I can run my business from anywhere. And I do. So, like, we want more people to join us to share this, because everyone deserves to feel good in their body. Absolutely everyone. So whether you want to come on as a client or you actually want to lock arms with us, reach out. Like, we're waiting, here to give you a big hug.
It's so true. And we have such a beautiful community, and we're all on the same team. We're Team Purium. It's so amazing to get to collaborate with you and to be here together. So thank you so much for your time. And we can't wait to hear how this touched your heart and if you're ready to join us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.